All right, it's time for another setup video, and we're going to be setting up a Searat skateboard. Shout out to Dom at Searat Skateboards for hooking your boy up. I haven't skated one of his boards in probably over a year. If you guys remember, kind of in my curb era, I was strictly riding Searat boards of all sizes. I'm talking all sizes, from 10 inches wide all the way to 8 inches. Dom makes some awesome skateboards, so if you guys haven't actually checked out Searat skateboards, make sure you guys check them out. This right here has been ultimately my favorite popsicle he's ever made. This is the swizzle stick. What makes this board pretty special is the nose. It's got a big, long, round nose right here. Talk about a schnoz right here, this is a good one. If you're big into nose slides, crooked grinds, or like nose slide combos, if you skate curbs and you do nose slide pop over, crook pop over, this is honestly like the shape for you, like you'll thank me later. Kind of funny because all the times I ever rode this board, it was never an 825. It was usually about a 9-inch popsicle with a 14-inch wheelbase and 32 inches long. As you guys recently have known, I've pretty much been riding 825 with a 1388 wheelbase, about 31.5 inches long. So this board's pretty dang similar. It's about a ½ inch longer though, and a slightly bigger wheelbase. So pretty similar to what I've been riding, so I'm actually really excited to skate this thing because I have been skating a bunch of different other companies recently. It'll be interesting to see the difference between all those boards and this Handmade skateboard. Let's talk about the other things going on this board. First off, we got some pepper grip tape. It's funny because I recently rode mob grip tape on my last setup. The skate shop I went to didn't have pepper grip tape, so I just went with the mob grip. And I thought it'd be kind of nice to try mob grip because I haven't tried it in a while. Wrong, when the mob was brand new, it was really grippy for about 2 weeks, I want to say. That's when I really noticed the difference between like my foot kind of sliding, and I kind of noticed the dirt kind of getting packed on my grip tape a little bit more. Crazy, pretty much by end of the month, it really wasn't that grippy, I feel, compared to pepper in a month span. The mob grip tape was that when I was applying it actually on my board, it wasn't sticking very well. But overall, I think I actually enjoy pepper a little bit more. Keeping the same 149 Indie Hollows on this board. Riding the 149 on the 825 for a while now. There's a few reasons why. One, like stability definitely makes a difference. It's definitely just stable. Obviously you have more trucks, so it's not gonna turn as quick. But it's funny because I've been recently thinking about trying 144s and seeing if the turn, but visually I personally like seeing kind of like the side of my wheel slash the nut coming out of the board. The wheels, we're going to still be running these Spitfires that we have. We have these conical fulls. They're 52 millimeters by 101. Yes, I said 101. I honestly really like the hard wheel. I do a lot of nose slides and tail slides, so I feel like it just makes sense why I like the harder wheel. I'm being honest too, I feel like Spitfire 101 is actually pretty chill. I've been skating a lot of ditch spots recently, and it really doesn't feel super hard. I feel like when I was younger and rode 101s, like the Bones 101s, those things were like little rocks, you know what I mean? Like those were actually really hard. These are actually not as hard as they feel, if that makes sense. Talk about the shape of this wheel. It is the conical full, so it's a lot wider than I normally like. I personally think I like the tablet just because it's a little bit lighter, but I think overall I might be happiest with just the normal conicals. I don't know how many millimeters smaller that is. I just like the shape of the square wheel. I skate a lot of ledges, so it just locks onto the edge really well. But this has honestly been the biggest wheel I think I've rode ever on my board. Was this 52 millimeter conical full? It's a huge tire for me. And lastly, we got the Santa Cruz rails that we're gonna be throwing on this board. I honestly really like these rails for a few reasons. One, they are hollow, so I feel like they're a little bit lighter. I'm always trying to shed some weight since I rock rails. Also, they're just really hard plastic. I've been riding rails for a long time. I've literally tried every company, and I just feel like the hard plastic for me on these just works really good when I'm sliding. I do a lot of board slides on metal objects, cement things. This hard plastic seems to work the best for me. As I'm saying this out loud with the hard wheels and the hard rails, it seems like there's an ongoing thing here with sliding and like the hardness of stuff. I'm just saying, how you doing? Anyways, with all that blabbering, let's just start gripping up the board. All right, so we're not gonna really do anything that special. I just always throw this grip tape just kind of flat on there, no big deal. I've been needing a new board for a while, so thank you, Dom. Like, I've been needing one, so perfect timing. Literally, my other board barely lasted me a month long, so at least we got something fresh to ride here. Ooh, and I'm stoked. I haven't rode one of these in so long. See, already just applying this is already better. I feel like with the mob grip tape, like I was saying, it was just like peeling up very quickly. See this? I just literally pat it down and it's not peeling up. This is what I like. This is the good stuff. Comment and let me know if what you guys think about Mob versus Pepper. Like, do you guys have an opinion, or what do you guys think holds the grip longer? So let's just do a quick file. So this board doesn't have as much concave as, let's say, a TrueFit mold has. Not necessarily one of those mellow concave ones or whatever they're called. It's definitely a step up from that. It's kind of somewhere in between, honestly. I'm going to try to set up this board kind of quick. I'm supposed to go to the skate park today and go meet up with like Enooks and Dowdy and like our other friend Lucas, and I told them I would be there at a certain time, and that time is getting kind of close. So I'm going to see if we can set this thing up and get out to the park and skate this thing too. Get some laughs and some shredding with the boys though, you know how you done. Okay, so normally I'm going to save this little piece of grip tape right here, and I'm going to file it outside or something. I just don't really want to make a mess inside the house any more than I need to right here. I already have to vacuum, but I don't want to like get the little speckles everywhere. So we're going to throw that out of there. How you done? All right, the board's gripped up, looking chill. Should we, maybe we'll put the trucks on next, and then we'll do the rails last. So I did want to talk about really quickly, one of the other main differences with these handmade boards that Dom makes, I don't know if it's just kind of the way he rounds the edges or if it's the wood that he's using, but I just noticed these boards don't chip very easy. I've been chipping boards like crazy the last few months, honestly. It's like I get a chip every other day with my board. I was skating a lot of curbs back then, and these boards, I would honestly abuse these boards pretty hard. I want to say in that amount of time, I've only maybe chipped 1 or 2 boards, which is maybe 1. I can't even think of another time that I chipped it. And the time that I did chip it, it hit like the metal like sheet at the bottom of like a skate park, you know? So it obviously, I was like, well, obviously that's going to chip it. So I just wonder with all these ditch spots I've been skating, I wonder how this board's going to hold up, you know, durability wise versus the other boards. Because your boy's been kind of getting into it more than just the average street skating, you know? It's been kind of nice skating with Zach and whatnot, kind of pushing me outside of my street boundary. I told myself this year that I was going to be kind of more open to skating more, you know, DIY, transition type spots. You know, I wanted to skate these spots and figure out a way to incorporate my street tricks into these DIY spots. So I think it's been kind of fun and challenging. It's been kind of like a new way at looking at a lot of things. So I've been really enjoying it though. But it definitely has been destroying my boards, and I've noticed I've been really needing bigger wheels. So that's kind of why we're on these wheels right now. So if you're wondering, I just wanted to go on that little spiel. So let's put these trucks on and get these rails on and go skate. We're getting this first truck on right now. I kind of like how like the red graphic of the wheels kind of matches the board too, which is kind of nice. Can't complain. Aesthetically, this board's going to look very pleasing to your boy, and the black rails on here. I always like it when the rails kind of blend into the graphic. The first truck on, let's get the other guy on. Trucks are on, board is almost complete. We got to throw the rails on this thing next. And honestly, already, it's really not that much heavier than I thought it was going to be. And kind of even just doing the comparison on the weight, it's really not that much different, I feel, than the other boards I've been riding. I think when I just see these boards, I just already assume it's a big board, so it's just kind of funny how it's so small. There's been only one other time where I set up a Searat 8-inch board. It was wild. Like I had 139s on it and everything. I've been wanting to try skating something that small again, but maybe 8-1 first. I don't know, maybe we'll experiment. Then we're gonna put these rails on. And so there's a few things I want to talk about before we put these rails on specifically. Because yes, they're supposed to go on this way, I think, is the correct way. But I actually have been noticing I like riding them this way on the harder edge. This rail has a hard edge and a soft edge right here. So I know they're supposed to go this way, but I've noticed the way I do my tilt tricks. I do board slide to hurricane, different kind of like combos like that where I go from board slide to a different feeble or Smith grind. And I've noticed for me, having the hard edge on this side makes more sense. For some reason, when I do it this way, I get the tilt I need. Is when you ride your rails all the way here, this is definitely better for grabbing your board. Like, I don't know, I always say it's like the 80s style boards or the pig noses always remind me of that. So the more you move your rail in, you're gonna be able to tilt your board more, and you're just gonna get a better slide overall. Because essentially, if your rails are all the way at the end and you're getting marks in the middle of your board, you're getting that extra friction that you just don't need. So you're pretty much trying to only slide on straight plastic, you know what I'm saying? And I think the last thing I'm going to talk about with, sorry, this is so much talk about rails right here, how far I put my rails in. I put them in 2 inches. So I literally will take the little tape measure, see the 2-inch mark, how you done, do a little how you doing mark right there. Let's go to this side, 2 inches, how you done, right there. Easy money. The other thing I do want to mention I like to do, I usually will get like duct tape or some double-sided tape or something. In this case, we don't have double-sided tape. Old macaroni thing, you know what I'm saying? Where you have to fold it over. Oh, that was a terrible rip. Okay, we're going to try to connect these and make it work. But, you know, doing one of these things, this little guy where, you know, you do the little wrap around it. And I'll honestly do it on every single hole where the screw goes. And there's a few reasons why I like to do this. One, it prevents that rattle that your screws will make. And when you place it on your board, it's just going to be easier to keep it in place. You know what I'm saying? Without it just going all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's a few reasons that this does actually benefit you. So I'm going to finish putting this tape on my rails. I don't think I'm going to film this process because this is going to probably take me a second and probably pretty boring to watch. But, oh man, I just got scared. The door opened behind me. But anyway, so we're twisting tape right here. We got a lot of more rails to go. That's all I got to say. I feel like I might just cheat it and just do it on like the first 2 and maybe that center one on the other rail. So we put all the tape on the rails right here, as you guys can see in those little holes. And now it's just time to drill these things in. All right, looks decent. How you done? But yeah, I just like how the black blends in. Okay, we got the 1 screw in. How you doing? The only thing is, these rails could come with better screws, I think. I don't love these screws. They work, but they could be better. I've been really needing new rails too. Like, I've honestly been starting to like grind out the screws on my other rails, so thank goodness we got some of these. Okay, looking good. Flip this thing over, get the other rails on, and then yeah, we're good to go skate. How you done? That looks pretty even. Honestly, this might be the best I've actually put the rails ever on. Usually I am so bad at this, you can ask literally all my homies. Even homie Sean at Rose Street, he will like put my rails on for me because I do it so bad. All right, the setup's all complete, looking good. Just a little quick rundown. We got the Searat 825, 14-inch wheelbase, 32 inches long, with 149 hollow indies. What are these? The 52 millimeter 101 full conicals Spitfires. Wow, that's such a mouthful to say that. And we got the Santa Cruz rails. We got the pepper grip. How you done? Where's the salt? You don't need it, but you probably do. I actually guess the salt is that little speckle in there. I don't know, maybe. I'm just going somewhere with it. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Searat Skateboards, I'll leave the link in the description so you guys can go check out the website, go check out homie's Instagram. Comment, let me know what boards and shapes you guys are riding right now. I'll catch you guys later because I'm gonna go to the skate park. Your boy needs to go skate this thing already. And I told homies I'd be there probably 30 minutes ago, so skate or lag, am I right? Here's my skate.
Yeah, Tony! How you done? Head to the bodega. That guy's smiling now. Oh, he's going surfing. Oh, man. Hey, he earned a taco.